we're on chapter 16, section 2, the power of holiness, on page 332 if you need a copy of the section. Last week, this entire section has been about really kind of what this lesson has been about tonight, the power of your holiness, recognizing it. It says you may still think that holiness is impossible to understand because you cannot see how it can be extended to include everyone, including yourself. And we talked a lot about this already with this idea of light and joy and peace abide in me, the tendency, the truth that is within us. And it says that the ego doesn't want you to see this truth, because if it did, it would be done. So it tries to fragment truth out for you, it says. It thinks you think you need to understand something. It says that your understanding is necessary for the truth. And the Course is always saying, look, your understanding is not necessary for miracles to happen. Your understanding of your holiness or the truth about you is not necessary. Your willingness is. Because you have understood something that is so ununderstandable. You have made the impossible possible in your mind. So you've already understood something that could never really happen. So your understanding isn't quite as important as your willingness. Your willingness now to replace what you think you understand with the truth. What is true. And so that's kind of what this is talking about. In the second paragraph that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, in that fourth line, it says, a far better, more helpful way for you to think of miracles is this, that you do not understand them, either in part or in whole, yet they've been done through you, as Mark was saying. Therefore, your understanding isn't necessary. Yet it is still impossible to accomplish what you do not understand, so there must be something in you that does understand. That's important. Yes, it does. Something, that truth about us, that Holy Spirit, the Christ presence that does understand that. And then it goes in that third paragraph where it says, to you miracles cannot seem natural, because what you have done to hurt your mind has made it so unnatural that it does not remember what is natural to it. Wow. Much like this lesson tonight. Doesn't seem natural to affirm light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. But this is the truth. It doesn't seem natural, as the Course says, when a miracle does not occur, something has gone wrong because they are so natural for us. And all that means is that we are aware of those shifts in our perception, that we're aware of love, kind of how Ray made room for love. Seeing, yeah, it's always here if I can just get past the distractions, whether it be a burning barrel or whatever, smoke in my yard or whatever, or a dog wagging at me. If I can move past it and get to the truth, it's there. And then let's jump over to the fourth paragraph. It says, you have done miracles, but it is quite apparent that you have not done them alone. You have succeeded whenever you have reached another mind and joined with it. When two minds join as one and share one idea equally, the first link in the awareness of the sonship as one has been made. And this is where we're always talking about healing doesn't take a whole, it's just our joining with one mind, just in love. Willing to see that one person in the truth of who they are, whether we know how to get there or not. When you have made this joining as the Holy Spirit bids you, and have offered it to Him to use as He sees fit, His natural perception of your gift enables Him to understand it and you to use His understanding on your behalf. It is impossible to convince you of the reality of what has clearly been accomplished through your willingness, while you believe that you must understand it or else it is not real. Again, healing has happened, whether you've seen the actual result of it or not, whether someone's come up and agreed with you or not, or said, yes, thank you for loving me so unconditionally. If no one ever says it to you, the healing has already occurred, whether you understand it or not. And so it's kind of important for us to get that, because our ego mind wants to say, if I can't understand and I can't rationalize it, then it can't be true. And it's saying, no, it can be true. Because your understanding changes so quickly. Let me just say one more thing. There's a new movie out called Mr. Turner. It's been out for a while. It's about, maybe you've heard of it, about a British artist in the late 1700s, early 1800s, who was a landscape painter. And he was kind of the innovator. And he rivaled all the other painters of the time who were basically painting historic things. Landscape art was not that big a deal. And in this particular movie, I haven't seen it yet, but I saw the previews, which was so interesting. They show this, it's Mr. Turner, you're such an incredible painter. They all applauded Mr. Turner's art, and he was painting this sea scene where the storm is raging and the boat is coming in, and it can't come too close, and they're all applauding him as he's painting this incredible painting. And then he takes his paintbrush and he puts a big red blop in the middle of it. And they all go, "What has Mr. Turner done? He ruined the painting. Look at how awful it is." And Mr. Turner picks up his rag and he marks off the bottom of the circle. And now that's just a buoy that warns the ship not to come in too close. And they go, "Mr. Turner's brilliant. Mr. Turner's brilliant. Look what he did to his painting." 1 minute before, Mr. Turner's an idiot. And he's gone insane, and he's ruined his magnificent masterpiece. And the next minute, Mr. Turner's brilliant because they put a buoy in, which would stop the boat from crashing against the water. How incredibly bright. And I thought to myself, isn't this us?
Sounds like my mind.
Oh, my God, our minds.
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. And then look at how brilliant I am. Look what an idiot you are. We bounce back from one thing to another. So if this is our minds, how can we understand anything? It does not. We don't know. We don't know what's right. We don't know what's wrong. We don't know anything. We need help.